Hi, I'm Ju Kwang from Golf Digest Singapore, and here we are today with Shaun Moulds from Titleist Southeast Asia, Golf Club Product Manager. We're here to talk a little bit about the new SM5 wedges, the Vokey design wedges. Shaun, take us away. Tell us a little bit about what you have available in the stores today.
Sure. Firstly, Drew, as you said, the Spin Mill 5. The Spin Mill...
Spin Mill.
SM,
all right. Got
so
that.
Spin Milled is the process.
Okay.
So we'll just run through what that is exactly. So firstly we start off with what we call a fly cut face.
Okay.
And this ensures the face is perfectly flat.
Perfectly flat. That would help.
It does help, yeah. So then we go in and we individually cut every groove with what we call the cutting saw here, which is the actual Spin Mill, the SM
Okay, it's
logo.
like a circular saw.
That's
nice
right.
logo. Okay.
Yeah. So every single groove
that
is
saw just goes and cuts every single groove.
every single groove one at a time.
Okay.
We have
so that helps with consistency with the features as well, right?
Yeah, it does. Okay. Then we have a machine face, and this is the small amount of roughness across the face, especially in between each groove, and this helps impart some spin.
Okay.
You feel that?
All right. Yeah. You can. The feel is a little bit rough, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that helps impart the spin in those little shots around the green, the little chip shots where the groove edge isn't gripping onto the ball.
I see. Okay.
Okay, then we inspect each groove individually across every wedge that we make, whether it goes out on tour or whether it's in the store.
Okay.
So this is just ensuring that we're as close to the legal limits as we can.
So is it like a visual inspection, or do you have some sort of equipment?
There's it goes into a vise, and then there's a digital stylus that runs across the face, and it
Digital
drops
stylus.
down,
Wow, I see.
drops down into the groove, comes back up the other side, and it's measuring the roughness of the face, the edges of the groove, the depth and the width, to making sure it's as close to the legal limits as possible. Then we also have some heat treating, some localized heat treating in the hitting area, and this helps prolong the life of the groove edge. Okay, so the groove edge, we want to keep it as sharp for as long as possible. So that heat treating just keeps it, nice and sharp. So good consistent spin for the lifetime of the wedge.
Okay, all right, fantastic.
We've got a lot of loft and bounce and grind options this year.
I believe you do. I mean, you've got one of the widest permutations of loft and bounce options available in the golf industry.
That's right. So we range in loft. We range from 46 through to 62.
Okay, so conceivably someone can pick up a 46 to replace the pitching wedge if that's what they want.
Absolutely. Yeah. So all the way through to the high lofted 62-degree wedge.
All right.
So I think when someone goes into store, there's a few things you want to look at in particular. So first off, you want to look at the loft of the club. Okay, so how far do you want to hit the club? Okay, so also we want to make sure that we've got consistent yardage gaps between each club. Okay, so if you say you want to replace your pitching wedge, you want to make sure that your distance between your 9 and your pitch, then your pitch and your gap, and then your gap and your sand is consistent between each club. So looking at loft is key. Second thing we want to look at is the bounce of the club.
Okay.
And the bounce, we mark our wedges. You can see here the wedges the bounce is marked on the sole.
Okay.
Okay, and this is the effective bounce. Okay. An effective bounce is a combination of what we call the measured bounce, and that's the angle that the sole makes when it sits on the ground.
Certainly.
Yep. So it's a combination of the measured bounce, the sole width, the amount of camber, which is the curvature of the sole, and also the type of grind.
I see.
So bounce can really complement someone's style. Okay. So depending on the shot they like to play, whether they're what we call a slider or a sweeper, or a driver or a digger, can also help reduce a bad shot. So if your bad shot is tendency to hit a lot of fat shots, you might look for some more bounce.
More bounce.
Stop
fat shots, more bounce.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's going to stop that leading edge digging in the turf and help get through
Happens
the ground.
to me a lot.
Easier. It does. Okay, so a little bit more bounce.
Certainly.
The next thing we want to look at is the type of grind.
Okay.
Okay, and the grind.
Now, what is the grind actually?
Grind. Okay, so as we said, we've got 6 grinds on the SM5 wedges.
6 different grinds.
6 different grinds, and the grind's really going to determine how you like to play the particular wedge.
I see.
Okay, so starting at one of the first grinds we've got here, this is the L grind.
I guess how much of the material has been grounded away, I guess.
Yeah, so at the L grind here, we've got a lot of relief through the heel, the trailing edge, and also through the toe.
I see.
Okay, and this is going to help play a number of different shots. So when we've got a lot of material ground off the back, we can open the face up, and the leading edge won't rise too high off the ground, so it's easy to get that club underneath the ball. So this is the L grind. Okay, this is in 58 and 60, and it's in an 04, so relatively low effective bounce, and really good for someone who likes to play the club in a lot of open positions, play a lot of high flop shots around the green. So this is one of the grinds, the L grind.
L grind.
Yep. Next we have the T grind. Okay. T grind, quite similar to the L.
Okay.
You can see we've got a lot of relief here through the heel, the trailing edge and the toe.
There's even more relief off the trailing
edge.
Yeah.
So this is a 62, very specialist club. This is the T grind, and this can be played good in a square position, but also because we've got such a wide trailing edge here, it can be really opened up, and it's kind of like a dual bounce, the T grind. So really good for that high lofted shot, predominantly in just the 6208. That's the T grind. Next,
62 degrees. It's in itself is a specialty club.
Very specialty club, absolutely. Okay, then we have the F grind. Okay, you can see here the F grind. We've just got a small amount being taken off the back edge here, and this is just to help predominantly the club get through the turf a little easier. And the F grind we'll see predominantly on our pitching wedges and gap wedges, and also our higher bounce sand wedges. This is really good for someone who likes to play the club in a square position. Okay, so not a lot of variety being played with the F grind. Okay, we have the S grind. Okay, the S grind, you can see here we've got this a little bit more in the trailing edge being taken off, and a little bit in the heel as well. Okay. Really good for someone who likes to play the ball or the club in a fairly square position at address, and if they want to add loft to their club, as opposed to opening the face up, can play it with our hands just a little bit behind the ball, or the ball a little bit further in our stance. And this is that's where this grind is going to really suit that particular golfer.
I see.
We then have the M grind, okay, the mid grind. Okay, we can see we've got a little bit of relief through the heel.
A little bit more on the trailing edge,
and a little bit on the toe.
Okay,
the M grind this year, we've also got a little bit more relief heel to toe. So this can be played in quite a number of different positions. We can open the face up. When we open it up, the leading edge isn't going to get too high off the ground. Because of the heel relief, some people like to play that chip shot around the green with their hands a little bit lower or closer to their body. Then also on the toe here, some golfers like to play a little bit closer to their feet. When it's a little bit closer to the feet and sitting up on the toe, the leading edge is still sitting nice and close to the ground. So,
it sounds like a really versatile grind.
Quite a versatile grind, the M grind. Yep. And
the 6 grind would be
the 6 grind. We have the K grind.
K grind.
Okay, so this is in the 58 and 60. Okay, both an 11-degree effective bounce. You can see this one we've got a really wide sole and a lot of camber. If someone's looking predominantly for a bunker club, it's fantastic out of the bunkers.
I should put one of those in my bag.
Yeah, as you said, you're a bit of a driver or a digger, so the amount of the wideness of the sole here, it's really going to help that club get through the turf.
Okay, fantastic. And it looks as if the wedges come in different finishes.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we've got 3 different finishes this year. Okay, we've got the Tour Chrome. Okay, and a little bit brighter than what we saw on SM4, but still has that
nice little brushed finish.
Yeah, brushed finish on the face,
so cut off some of the glare.
Not going to be too glary at address. The second one we have here is the raw black. Now this is an unplated head, so like oil can we saw in SM4, it is designed to rust. Some people like that rusty finish.
Certainly, very smart looking finish, this one.
And then we have the gold nickel.
Yeah, very classy.
So this is plated, and it won't rust. This is like a Tour Chrome, so plated, not meaning it won't rust.
Okay.
Yep.
And I believe the golfers, if they order it through the custom shop, they can have their logo stamped on the golf clubs.
Yeah, we can have. There's 3 different types of stamping.
Okay.
It's what we call a snow stamp.
Snow stamp.
Which is 1 or 2 letters, appears on a number of times across the back of the wedge.
Okay.
Or we can have up to 5 characters stamped in a straight line or a freestyle. So you can get your name or nickname stamped on the back of the club, which is quite nice.
Fantastic. Well, it looks like there is a wedge for any golfer and every golfer out there.
Yeah.
How does one decide, which wedge to get and how many wedges to put in their bag?
Yeah, I think when you walk into a store, as we said, there's lots of loft and bounce and grind options. The first thing you want to look at is the loft. Okay, establish what loft you need and how many wedges you do want to carry. Secondly, we want to look at the bounce. So the bounce is going to complement someone's style or help reduce the bad shot. Okay. The third thing is the grind. Okay, and the grind is how the particular wedge likes to be played. So for a pitching wedge, if we looked at something like an F grind, normally a pitching wedge we play in a fairly square position, and as you move through to the higher lofted wedge, you like to play a variety of different shots. That's why we see more bounces and grinds in the higher lofted, the 58s and 60s. Then the last thing we look at is the colour preference. There's 3 different colours. Gold nickel, Tour Chrome, and also the raw black.
Okay. What about the shaft? What is the shaft on the new wedges, and is there an option for alternatives?
Sure. Our stock shaft is the Dynamic Gold S200, but there are a number of shafts available through custom.
All right. Okay, fantastic. Well, a new club for the golfer out there, and I guess the wedges are one of the most important clubs in the bag. So I'm sure you have one for any golfer out there.
Absolutely. Lots of the game is played with inside 100 yards, and we want to make sure we've got a wedge that's going to suit our game.
Fantastic. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Stu.
Appreciate it. Exciting times.
Thank you.
This is Golf Digest Singapore. Thank you for watching.